What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the General's Report. Today we're going to be talking about, the Bridgeport Fire Department and their recruitment. We're blessed to have on the show today Lieutenant Joe Kirkland, who I'm going to be pulling in a minute. So I just want to talk about the upcoming things that's coming in the future for the swag. Tonight we have some dance classes. We have theater, thanks to Creative Youth Programming. And we have Gift of Dance here tonight from 5:15 to 6:15. And again, this Thursday, we're going to be having bingo from 5:45 until 8:15. So if anybody's interested in that, you can be a part of that. So please share this because this is really important for our community, especially our Bridgeport community. Again, we're blessed to have Lieutenant Joe Kirkland. Joe, what's up, Joe?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. How you doing?
I'm all right. So, Joe, just give the people a little bit about yourself real quick before we get into the Bridgeport recruitment, please.
Well, my name is Joe Kirkland, born and bred here in the wonderful city of Bridgeport. I actually came on the Bridgeport Fire Department back in April of 1998. I'm currently in my 24th year. Yeah, I was fortunate. Another classmate and myself were actually the first second generation African American firefighters in the city's history. So that was a pretty big accomplishment for me to come on after my father. And my partner, his name is Joe Carr Jr. His dad, Joe Carr Sr., was on the fire department the same time as my dad. So when we both got hired in April of 98, we became the first two second generation African American firefighters in the city's history. So we have a mantle and a mandate that we're trying to carry out, to continue these traditions within the fire service for people of color. I don't know if everybody knows, but up until 1977, there was only one African American firefighter employed with the city at that time. And there was a monumental lawsuit which brought on 77 Black and Hispanic firefighters, which changed the face of the Bridgeport Fire Department forever. Out of that, in 1970, was birthed the International Association of Black Professional Firefighters, and the Bridgeport Firebirds were formed out of that organization back in 1983. So our mission is to continue to encourage people of color, men, women, children, to take the fire service, to take any civil service job for that matter, within the city. We want the department to reflect the demographics of its communities. And it's important that, young men and women see people that look like them when they're dealing with the community and in different aspects, whether it be police, fire, EMS, what have you, teachers, so forth. So we're zealous about, getting as many, Black and brown people interested in the fire service, showing them how the process, what's entailed in the process, and getting them from the beginning to the end, with the whole dynamic. So
I seen there was a big press conference maybe 2 weeks ago. They had the acting chief, and I seen Miss Monique. I don't know if she's lieutenant captain, so I don't want to.
Yeah, she's Lieutenant Moore. Yes,
Lieutenant Moore there. So it seemed like it was a really big deal. Why was it such a big deal for the city to make that announcement?
Well, we're going to be having a need within the fire service in the upcoming months. I mean, they always look for an exodus around April 1st. That's when our fiscal year starts. So they're looking for several retirements come April 1st. I think the city is working behind the gun with this immediate press for the recruitment drive. I mean, normally we have a couple of months to work it out. There's also a physical agility component that has to be tied in with the actual application for the fire department. So we're sort of under the gun right now with only 29 days for recruitment to get people interested, to get them the information, to get them signed up, to get the applications in and so forth. So, we're working diligently behind the scenes, talking to many, people as possible, trying to get them the information about, the opportunity, how they need to go about, filling out the application. There's certain waivers that are available for those who can't afford the application fees and stuff like that, getting them that information, in a timely fashion so they can get all the paperwork, filled out in order to meet, the application deadlines and so forth. So we're a little behind the 8 ball here, but I mean, as people of color, we're always used to working out magic and dealing with a stacked deck. So I mean, this isn't anything new for us. We always have to learn how to overcome and adapt, and that's where we're at right now with the city and this whole hiring process. But we only have a couple of weeks left for the actual application deadline. That is due on March 13th at 12 a.m. So that is the deadline for the applications to be in, for the city's portion. And then there's also another application for the CPAT, which is the candidate physical ability test. That deadline closes on March 24th. So, it's it's a matter of getting people to the City of Bridgeport website, having them fill out the application. What we've been trying to do is, I've been handing out my number and numbers to the Firebird organization so that as we get people who are applying for the job, we want to do a specialized training with them to show them how to take the written portion of the test, to show them how to do the physical, portion of the test. So that way they're successful when they come out to participate.
Now, with that, for you to give us some support, for you guys to give them support to take the test and the training and all that, is that going to be a cost, or how would that work?
No, I mean, everything we do is gratis. I mean, and it's about reach one, teach one, and we've always been dedicated to the community in the same way somebody sat down and talked to me about the fire service, about the opportunity. That's what we do. We pay it forward. So there are no fees on our end in terms of communicating with the people, getting them training and so forth. It's going to be free to the public, to the community. So I at the end of the podcast, I will give you a couple of numbers for people to reach out in case they're interested, so they can sign up and we can get them started. So.
All right. So for the people I know, for some of my people, they scared to ask certain questions. So I'll ask them for them.
Yeah.
So, and I know some of the answers, but just so we can have clarity. If I got busted for selling crack cocaine in 1989, can I apply for this?
You sure can. And people tend to forget that Bridgeport is a second chance city. And that came straight from Mayor Ganov's mouth, who was a convicted felon, who is now, the head person in charge of our illustrious city. So, I mean, for him to frown on somebody who has been, had a little mishap in the past, would be an oxymoron. So what they do is they take each case, case by case. It's done on an individual basis, and they look at all the dynamics, that happened, whenever the offense occurred, and they look for a track record moving forward. So, I mean, we have several convicted felons on the job right now, who have, persisted. They're on the fire department. They have received promotions and so forth. So, I mean, if I wouldn't discount myself if I had a bloop in my past history. Fill out the application anyway. They do have to do a background check, but if you're up forth and upcoming with the information, and you show a track record of positivity since that offense, you shouldn't have a problem, getting hired.
So what if I have a GED and I didn't walk the line in high school?
Okay, no, they base it on either a high school diploma or an equivalent. GED is sufficient, and you're also required to have a valid driver's license at the time you take the exam as well. Because at some point, you have to get checked off to drive the fire apparatus, so you do have to have a valid driver's license and be 18 or over. So those are really the only requirements there is no age restriction. With some departments, there's a cutoff at 35, 40 years old. But we've had our last group, we had a female that was 50 years old when she took the test and got hired with the city. So. Mm-hmm. That's something else. So, for the OGs who think they can't do it, as long as we can get you through that CPAT, there is no age restriction. So don't limit yourself.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about finances, the benefits, and different things like that. That I know a lot of firemen like to say that people don't really know about, that the benefits of being a fireman.
Well, it's covered under the wages and benefits. So the entry level base pay for a firefighter is $53,698, which works out to a little over $1,340 some odd dollars per week. So I mean, to start out with an entry level position without any formal training or any past credentials, I think that's a good place to start. And you have promotional opportunities, within the ranks once you pass your probationary period, which is 1 year. You have a total of 3 years, and then you're able to take your lieutenant's exam, and subsequently with the lieutenant's position, once you're in there for 3 years, you can take the captains and so forth. So there's plenty of upward mobility available, and as you step up in rank, you do increase in your salary and benefits, and that all goes towards your retirement. So I mean, a lot of jobs don't offer a pension plan, and that's crucial when you're looking at the long-term benefits and so forth of a civil servant job, where the city is going to match your pension at the end of 25 years. So then you have a retirement benefit that you're looking at also when your career is over. We also offer medical, dental, and vision insurance, which is crucial. I don't know if anybody has to pay their own medical and dental benefits, but I mean, you're talking upwards of anywhere from almost $500 to $1,000 a month, in insurance costs just to maintain those benefits. So that's definitely a plus of being a civil servant. We also have life insurance policies included. You get a uniform allowance. We have paid vacations, paid trainings, and we actually have 13 paid holidays. I thank them for making Juneteenth a holiday. So that's one more holiday that
extra day.
You get paid for in the whole scheme of things. So we that's going to be something new for us. There's also something that they haven't put in the flyer, but for the older people, we also get a longevity check. So if you were employed for more than 5 years with the city, come the 6th year, you would get a check for all the years that you worked. So that's like an extra benefit that we get. But in terms of job security, we do have a union, local 834, which is part of the International Association of Professional Firefighters. And once you become a member of the Bridgeport Fire Department, you can join the union too. And there's always strength in numbers. So if you're having a problem, when it comes to discipline or anything like that, you have people who are going to advocate for you to make sure that you don't lose your job or your benefits. So that's an added plus.
Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of people think, when they think fire department, obviously they're thinking they got to run in these burning buildings,
Well, you froze up a little bit there. Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people watch TV. I'm a fan of Chicago Fire, and luckily it doesn't happen like that in real life every time we come to work, because if that's the case, I don't think we'd have anybody on the fire department. But in all honesty, everybody is trained to a level of perfection, so that you're prepared to go into these dangerous situations. You're never ever really at a fire scene by yourself. It's always a 2 in, 2 out buddy system. There's accountability on the fire ground, the fire scene, and it's a team effort. So I mean, you see all these shows and all this sensationalism, but I mean, if you have a fire or two every month, that's a lot. The bulk of our response is medical calls, and that's where our bread and butter is, for the fire service. Difficulty breathing, stuff like that, heart attacks, slip and falls. We don't really go to any like gunshot calls or stabbing calls. That's exclusive to AMR. But for your minor stuff, somebody got burned with an iron, kids choking on something, maybe somebody's birthing a child. For the smaller medical calls, we're involved with those, and I would say that 90% of our call volume is with medical calls and so forth. Very few fires. Plus, Bridgeport has been extremely diligent with our smoke detector program. I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with this, but almost every day during the week, different fire companies are out in the community installing smoke detectors in 2 and 3 family houses for free. So with these smoke alarms, they have a battery life of almost a decade, and we've seen a much lighter fire load because of all these alarms that we have installed in people's houses. So it gives them an early detection of smoke or fire in the premise, and it allows us to get there a lot quicker to put the fire out before it becomes something that's monumental, where people end up losing their homes and their property and stuff. So that's been a really big component of our fire load as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about females? What would be your sales pitch to a young lady who might have thought about it, but is on
would be
that
my
fence?
sales pitch. I was fortunate enough to have we had 2 females in my class way back when. One was a cook at Dutch's, and she was 18 years old when she took the test. So now she's in her 24th year, along with myself. We came on together. So really, she only has another year and some months to do, and she can retire with a full pension at the age of 43. Now, I don't know where else in the world you can do that and retire with a full pension and benefits at the age of 43, but I think that's phenomenal. And she again, she puts in the work just like the guys do. And again, we encourage all the women, females, no matter what walk of life you come from. Again, we'll give you the training. We'll give you the instructions. We'll show you how to get through this thing. And we encourage, again, we want the Bridgeport Fire Department to reflect this community. And we have Black men and women in this community. We have Latino men and women in this community. We have Caucasian men and women in this community. So we want the department to mirror the face of the city and the citizens. So we encourage women to apply. We've actually focused most of our campaign right now for the city based on the female aspect. See, you've seen Lieutenant Moore on most of the billboards. You've seen her on the city bus. You've seen her at the bus stops. You've heard her on radio. So there is a big push for us to get females on the job, and the national average is roughly around 2 or 3% per department, and we've exceeded that tremendously just by our big push to get female hires within the fire department.
So once the application process, once they get through that, right, how much longer do they have to take the test?
This is what they have to do. They go to the City of Bridgeport website. It's bridgeportct.gov/fire. There's a tab for the fire department application, for the City of Bridgeport application. So they're going to go to that website, fill out all the information, submit the fee. I believe it's $65 to submit that. And then there's also a tab for the CPAT registration. So they're going to
let me jump in real quick.
Yep.
Let me jump in real quick. So I know earlier you said if they didn't have the payment for the 65, but that's not going to be on that city website, right?
It's supposed to. It's still not might not be there. But if there's a financial hardship, I'm going to give you my email address and my telephone number. What I need them to do is just write a letter stating that they have a financial hardship and are unable to pay either the $65 Bridgeport exam fee or the CPAT fee, and we'll talk to civil service to get that waived for them. So. And if you want, I'll put that information out now. So while we're on the subject.
Yeah, go ahead. You can do it.
Yeah, so my number is 203-257-5598. Again, that's 203-257-5598. and my email address is J as in Joe, K as in kite, IRK as in kite 41 at AOL.com. So it's jkirk41 at AOL.com. And if you're interested, you don't have the money, get me that letter ASAP so that way I can get it to civil service. I'll give you a call back. I'll tell you how you need to proceed to get that application in before the deadline.
Yep. Oh yeah, by the way, my cousin Byron said what up, Byron Nelson.
Okay, all right, yeah.
So yep. So as far as the work shift, right? Because I know a few firemen, it's like, bro, when do you ever work? You know, so it seems like you guys never at work. You work like one day a week. So how does that work as far as the schedules?
So, all right. So the tour begins with a 24-hour period, and it starts at 7 in the morning. So say I'm working, my shift is tomorrow. My tour starts tomorrow. So I go in at 7 in the morning on Thursday, and I get out 7 in the morning on Friday. I do a 24-hour tour. And then I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm off for 72 hours. Then I go back Monday morning at 7. I get out Tuesday morning at 7. And I'm off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's 24 on, 72 off, and that just continues to rotate. Now, also within that 24-hour period, it's split into a day shift and a night shift. So ultimately, I could take a vacation for the day and just work the night, or I could take a vacation for the night and just work the day, or I could take the whole tour off and get the whole 24-hour period off if I want to use my vacation like that and have 7 days off.
Damn.
So
must be the life.
It's
so a lot of you guys obviously have other businesses or different jobs.
I mean, and rather than sitting around twiddling your thumbs, most firefighters have a second job. It allows you to do something that you're passionate about. If you have a hobby or whatever, you can focus on that. A lot of people go back to school. The city will actually reimburse your tuition if you take college courses, which is another benefit, which is pretty big. So a lot of people go back to school during their off time. Some people just hang out and travel. But I mean, for somebody who's eager to make that extra money, we have overtime shifts that you can take as well. Plus, we have a benefit which is called the special leave, which a lot of municipalities don't do. But if I have somebody who is of equal rank as I am, I can have them work my 24-hour period or my 12 or whatever, however, and then I pay them back. So I don't even have to use my vacation time. I can have, my coworker, hey, will you work for me all day Thursday and I'll work for you all day Saturday. So if you have stuff that's pressing that you can't work around or whatever, I mean, you could always have somebody cover you too, which is, that's unbelievable. So,
so where did the or will they contact your other?
You froze up a little bit on me.
I know it's freezing a little bit, but when someone gets in the application process and they get the CPAC application in, they contact the Firebird Society for the support on the training, or do they contact the Bridgeport Fire Department?
No, actually, the fire department isn't offering it. Well, they're actually scheduling CPAT training sessions, so you can go through the city website to schedule a CPAT training session. But the Firebird organization is actually going to be doing an additional training to show people how to take the written exam. We're going to be doing like a mock exam and just going over some basic aspects of a civil service exam for those who might be brand new to the process. So, in order for us to do that, I would need, names and numbers so that we can contact them in the future and keep them, abreast of what's going on. So we will be offering a training within the next week or two on how to take that civil service exam and, what you need to do to prepare for that.
Someone said all those days off, y'all take 42-year-old women too?
42-year-old women, 52-year-old women. We don't discriminate.
Mm-hmm. You heard that, Joanne? All ages. So what about residency? Do I have to be a Bridgeport resident?
You don't have to be a Bridgeport resident, but one of the key factors to entice people from Bridgeport is they offer them 15 points towards their written exam. So they're given residency points, in addition to taking that written exam, which is a plus to encourage people from the city, to take the fire department exam. So that's just an added benefit for Bridgeport residents. So I mean, if you live in the city, that's just another reason for you to apply for the position.
Mm-hmm. So can you give us a little more info on the Firebird Society and what it's about?
Yeah, well, like I said, the Bridgeport Firebird Society.
In your role in the Firebird.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually the current president of the Bridgeport Fire Society. We were founded back in 1983, and it's a group of primarily Black and Latino firefighters that get together, and we do different things within the community. We're based in the schools. We do read along, stuff like that. We're involved in mentorship programs. We hand out scholarships to high school students. We volunteer and are active in the community, especially now during this COVID situation. So we've been doing a lot in terms of assisting with COVID testing and handing out PPE, that kind of stuff. But we've always been active in the community, and one of our major responsibilities is for recruitment, promotion, and retention of people of color within the fire service. And that's one of our main goals. So, that's why, even though we have a limited window in terms of getting these applications into the city, that's one of our key responsibilities is to recruit people of color, men and women of color from the community. And we don't discriminate. We do have white members, which are part of the Firebird organization and the International. And just like the civil rights movement, it wasn't just people of color. We've always had people of all ethnicities that join and helped us with our struggle for equality. So we're focused on making sure the demographics of the fire department, reflect the demographics of the community, to make sure that everybody has a fair share and opportunity to take these tests, to make sure that there aren't any biases with the testing process, and to make sure people have all the information, to get these jobs from the beginning to the end of the process. So that's what we do.
So one of the people watching, Judy Rivera, she said, proud of my brother, Carlos Rosario, retired fireman, and now my son-in-law will be taking the test.
Awesome.
And then another lady, Joanne, she said, is there a problem with retention?
Retention? Not so much in Bridgeport. I mean, we've had some people that slip through the cracks, again, with any other profession. Some people were given other opportunities to move out of state and leave and so forth. But we really haven't had any problems with people losing their jobs per se. It's usually been a personal choice not to stay in Bridgeport. We've had people leave to go to other departments, different states. When I came on, I had two classmates that were firefighters. They ended up leaving and they went to the police department. But in terms of our retention, once we get the people, we have a pretty good track record of keeping them and developing them. So that's something that we're proud of.
So if people wanted to, like, say they moved from Bridgeport to, all you people like to take the midnight train to Georgia.
Yeah.
So if I want to take the midnight train from Georgia and I was a Bridgeport Fire Department firefighter, would you guys support me if I wanted to move and get me into a station down there? Or
we would definitely support you. Usually when you make a lateral move like that to a different state, different department, you have to go through the process all over again. So you have to start from square one to take the firefighter entry level exam and work it that way. Unless you were a high ranking official, you might be able
Oh,
to
like
make
I seen what's the name, the chief
you
Reggie. He
might
went all the
be
way
able to
to.
make a unilateral move and be in upper management, but to start from ground level, you'd have to go through the process all over again. The same way if somebody came to Bridgeport from another department, they'd have to take the entry level exam, they'd have to qualify for the CPAT and start from from the very beginning. So.
All right, a couple more questions and then I'll let you go. But
Mm-hmm.
if I wanted to take it, right? If I wanted to prepare, do I need to have the what do you call it? First aid and all that stuff, CPR before I?
No, we actually, and that's one of the most beautiful things about being being able to take this test here in Bridgeport. There aren't any prerequisites. Like sometimes require that you have EMT status, or EMR status. No, Bridgeport takes you when you're green, and we give you the training. So we get you certified as an EMR. We get you certified, to drive an emergency apparatus. We get you certified to do all these things. So you can take this job without any firefighting experience at all. And at the end of it, be a seasoned vet. So after we go through the training, we go through, principles, tactics, all that kind of stuff. Which we'll make sure that you're prepared to to handle the career.
Mm-hmm. The other thing is what preparation do you have for the upcoming youth, like kids that might be 15 to 18? What are you guys looking to do to prepare those upcoming
Currently
kids?
we're looking to develop some kind of program, almost like an explorer kind of thing, where we can take kids, say ages 14 to 17, and expose them to the fire service, to firehouse living, to mitigating emergency situations and that kind of stuff. So we're in the process of trying to develop something like that now, but we are in the school systems. We still do like the Touch a Truck program. So, we're available to come out and work with, middle
Still give
school
out the little red hats, the little plastic red hats.
I don't know if you can give the little red hat to the 14-year-old, man. We might want to do something a little different. But we're still, as the COVID restrictions are lifting, we're still trying to, just be more active in the school systems to maybe spark some interest in some of these young boys and girls that might want to pursue a career, in the fire service. We have been in talks with the Bridgeport Military Academy. They have like a fire science program there. So we have sat down, with the kids and talk to them about a career in the fire department. So we try to do different things with the kids to keep them interested.
Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming on, Joe. And I'm going to let you end it by telling the people why, once again, they should want to be a fireman in Bridgeport.
Yeah.
And your info on how they can.
Well, Bridgeport has as a fire department, we have a rich history rooted in fire response and our commitment to the community. And it's not just a financial reward, but it's fulfilling to see people at their worst and be able to help them to get through and make things better for them. So it's not only a job, but it's a calling. It's a calling, and it's a commitment to helping those who you live with. It's really serving the Bridgeport community, and even though we do get a paycheck at the end of the week, again, Bridgeport is it might be the largest populated city in Connecticut, but in the whole scheme of things, it's a small city. And there's a lot of relationships and things cross where it's like they say, well, small world, I know this one. So we're working on a grandmother and we're doing CPR on her, and come to find out this is one of my friend's grandmother, and we just had an opportunity to save her life or give it our best shot. So when you're able to work from the heart and do something that you're passionate about and help people in the process, it's healing for everybody, for all parties involved, man. And it's really rewarding at the end of the day to say, I made a difference in somebody's life. And it wasn't about a dollar, but it was about a responsibility to serve in those who look like me. who talk like me, and who live in the same city as me, and it's something that words can't even describe, man. But at the end of the day, we on the Bridgeport Fire Department are thankful for the citizens allowing us to serve them, and we want people who are like-minded to join the fire service, man, so that we could just make it the best department that we can.
I appreciate that. So one more time, your contact info for if anybody
My
wants some
contact
support.
information, my cell phone is 203-257-5598. My door is always open. If there's something that you want to talk about, behind the scenes, whatever. I mean, I'll keep everything confidential. Like I said, we're talking about people who might had felony stuff like that. I mean, I wasn't the nicest guy growing up, so I know what the struggle is to get involved with some drama and having to work around that. And if anybody
I think what I since we just last year or two, they done made a lot of things legal. So what about drug testing? I think that was one of the biggest things that they need to know about.
I mean,
pre-test during it.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if they're using the hair follicle test or whatever they're doing right now. But I mean, it is legal, but again, I would use some wisdom. I mean, if we're talking about being able to drive and handle, equipment, stuff like that, I would shy on the air of caution and not really mess around with that. At some point after you get hired, you can get a state card, which absolves you from losing.
No, I think my question is if before when I take the test to get into all those tests, am I taking a urine in, or the urines come once you get on the team?
I would definitely clean up my act and not mess around from here on in.
Exactly.
And that's my professional opinion. I say, just for any entry level job, you got to make sure you're on point. And you're talking about making critical decisions and stuff like that, where people's lives are in the midst. So you want to be as sharp and as focused as you possibly can be. So again, you put the put the blunts down for a
couple months
and get right.
Yep. Well, I appreciate you, Joe, man, for taking your time out. I know you loved our community and our people and our culture, and I continue to I can't wait to see you continue to do great things.
Yeah,
and
man.
To come over here and help us at some times and support us with our youth, and just like I always tell the police when they ride by or whatever they stop, I'm like, sometimes you just got to come in and use the bathroom, man. Let the kids
show
see
your face.
Exactly. Let them see you in a uniform, and other than seeing you, what I mean, in a negative way, from whatever the TVs and stuff, especially for the police. But but yeah, man, I appreciate you, Joe, and hopefully we can get you back in once the recruitment is over.
Well,
talk about a little bit more.
Again, we have until March 13th, so if you want to follow up next week, whatever, man,
definitely,
or broadcast, whatever.
Maybe we can get you because we can add another person out here with you. Maybe you can get another female or somebody that's new into the force that want to come and talk about some of the things. I would definitely appreciate that.
No problem.
All right.
All right, man.
So I appreciate you, man. Lieutenant Joe Kirkland in the Bridgeport Fire Department. Appreciate you, Joe.
All right, take care.
All right, yep, thanks. So I want to thank everybody that jumped in and out of this live. These are the type of things we're trying to do, is try to give us information. We're looking to get the police department up here. We're looking to get, just different paths, correction officers, just to try to give us some information that some of us might not have. And so that's what we're doing. So I'll be back on tonight. Thanks for coming out. God bless. And you know the rest. Deuces.